Invest 5 lakhs once and get 5 lakhs every week for life. Believe it or not, thousands of Indian, including the savvy entrepreneurs, bought into such promises. Ponzi and pyramid schemes aren't just targeting the individuals, they are targeting small companies and business owners as the prime targets, and they often get roped in with allure of easy growth, capital and passive income. Hi everyone, I am Sonal Alagh, and today we'll be discussing about Ponzi traps for the business, how to spot and escape one, and commonly also known as growth funds. In the first segment, we will uncover how these scams operate, signs to watch for, and the Indian laws that are fighting for them, and also the lessons learned from real case studies like QNet and Gain Bitcoin. Now, how these Ponzi scams operate is the first thing that I want to explain. So, Ponzi schemes typically promise unusually high returns on investment, often with very little risk. For business owners, the pitch might be invest your idle fund with us for a guaranteed 5% monthly return. Use the profit to expand your business or join our network, and your company will earn commission on every referral. Exponential growth. Pyramid schemes may be disguised as referral marketing or direct selling plans where you earn recruiting others. SMEs, that is small and medium companies eager for growth, can fall prey thinking it's a smart financial decision or a new revenue stream. In this segment, I will be telling you about 4 red flags that you should watch for to save yourself. The first and foremost is unrealistic returns. Guys, any fund promising that says 10% per month is practically impossible. To give a perspective, it is like 20% of annual return. The infamous Gain Bitcoin scheme that dangled precisely 10% monthly return in Bitcoin was a huge red flag that people did not watch for. The second red flag is pressure to recruit. If you are told that your returns are the benefit from hiring other people, refer 5 other business to invest and you'll get a bonus, it is likely a pyramid structure. Your real product shouldn't be new recruits or new hiring. That's not your job. The third red flag is lack of clarity. Legitimate investment funds are registered in India with SEBI or RBI. Ponzi scheme often operate on a grey zone, and they claim that we are outside the SEBI purview. We are not regulated. Always ask if you are SEBI registered scheme or RBI regulated fund. If not, you are basically giving your money on trust, which is a very, very huge risk. And the fourth red flag is too consistent and too good to be true. In the real investment, returns fluctuate. So if someone's showing you magically steady high returns, suspect a Ponzi. They could be paying earlier investors with the new investors' money. So also, if they downplay the risk completely, no investment is risk-free, guys. Please suspect a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme then and there. In the second segment, let me tell you about some legal framework that exists in India. India has strong laws against such schemes. The Price Chit and Money Circulation Banning Act 1978 outright bans any money circulation or pyramid schemes that pays by enrolling other members. Even the banning of unregulated deposit schemes, that's known as BUDS, further criminalizes unregistered investment deposit schemes. So collecting money from public, even businesses without proper registration, can land one in jail. Now violators even face criminal consequences as well. The regulatory bodies, that is RBI and SEBI, keep issuing warning. SEBI flags companies running unauthorized collective investment schemes, and RBI alerts about fake funds and fake NBFCs. Yet scams persist by operating under the radar of exploiting the loopholes until they collapse. Now let's look at 2 major case studies that hold lessons for every business entrepreneur in India. The first example is about QNet. Now, QNet is a Hong Kong-based multi-level marketing company that has operated in India for years, often quoted professionals and small businessmen with a promise of high earnings. It sold like holiday packages to even pendants, but the emphasis was on recruiting others to earn commission. Essentially, it functioned like a classic pyramid scheme disguised as direct selling to the vendors. Now, what happened is really interesting. Tens and thousands of people joined QNet network and many investing substantial sums. The packages ranged from 1 lakh to 6 lakhs, and to buy and qualify for the commission, people were investing. The allure was huge money. Now QNet representations claimed that by building a chain, one could become crorepati in a couple of years. For example, QNet projected to create over 1 lakh billionaires by patently absurd claim, and some educated individuals even fell for it. Over time, the complaints start pouring in, and people weren't getting as what was promised, obviously, because the real scam was not the sale of the services, but it was rather the pyramid scheme that you had to get other people to join it. The Indian authorities obviously cracked it down. The Economic Offence Wing of Bombay, along with multiple other people, filed FIRs. By 2013-14, QNet was accused of defrauding investors to the tune of 425 crores. The arrest followed, including high-profile people in 2015. Two of the top QNet promoters were arrested at Delhi airport with the charge of cheating the investors. Various QNet agencies have been booked for the Price Chit Act and for defrauding and cheating people. Notably, Maharashtra Protection of Interest Depositors Act was also invoked, and the bank accounts of QNet was frozen, and the amount lying was 46 crores. That was the balance there. Courts had a mixed stance. At one point, the Supreme Court observed that if there's a legitimate product and direct selling, it might not fall under the Price Chit Act. That was the QNet defense basically. But multiple high courts like Karnataka labeled it as an operational pyramid scheme. The legal battles are ongoing. But effectively, QNet's operation in India were severely curtailed, and right now they are not operating. What is the lesson here for all business owners? QNet case illustrates how even a seemingly legit business opportunity can be camouflaged scam. Many mid-career professionals actually put in their money and credibility into QNet and ending up neither making money nor getting the refunds. So if you are approached by an MLM marketing plan that is promising high returns or a passive income, examine if the revenue is mainly coming from the product sale or recruiting others. If it is a recruitment heavy, just steer clear away, guys. Also, when the regulator starts investing the scheme, you are involved. Don't ignore the warning signs hoping it will blow over. Some QNet participant guys continue to rope in others even after the news of the arrest, only to find themselves embroiled when the law caught up. The Price Chit Acts ban it clear. If income is coming from enrolling other person into the scheme, it is illegal. A business person associating with such a scheme can tarnish your reputation, or worse, it can make you a party to an illegal operation. The second example is of Gain Bitcoin, a crypto Ponzi that hooked thousands. Gain Bitcoin was a cryptocurrency-based Ponzi scheme which was masterminded by Amit Bharadwaj around 2015-2017. Under the guise of Bitcoin mining investment plan, it promised investors extraordinary high return, 10% monthly, that paid in Bitcoin. Many tech-savvy entrepreneurs and professionals curious about crypto got drawn into it. The scheme had MLM element to it. Obviously, referrals were encouraged. It grew to an enormous scale, and by the time it collapsed, an estimated 6,600 crores was swindled from investors across India, which was in history making it one of the largest Ponzi scams. Now, what exactly happened? For a while, early investors did receive some payouts. A typical Ponzi scheme paid the initial folks with the new folks' money that was happening. This led to a word-of-mouth publicity, roping in more and more victims. However, by 2017, as Bitcoin price volatility increased and withdrawals mounted, the scheme couldn't sustain itself. Bharadwaj couldn't fulfill the promises that were made. He was ultimately arrested in 2018. In a twist, he died out of a cardiac arrest in 2022 while out on bail. But the investigation still continues to trace the huge amount of cryptocurrency and money involved. The Enforcement Directorate and multiple state police force launched investigations. Given the multi-jurisdictional spread of the entire case, Maharashtra, Delhi, Bombay, Gujarat, The Supreme Court in December 2023 directed India's premier agency, that is CBI, to take over the GAIN Bitcoin related cases. In early 2025, CBI conducted nationwide raid in 60 locations to gather evidence, track down the associates and the assets. They seized crypto wallets and digital evidence under the Price Cheat Act and obviously other criminal laws that exist in India. Importantly, even PMLA, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act, was also involved because the money was being siphoned out of India that was happening in this entire Ponzi scheme. The investigation found that GAIN Bitcoin was operating in a web of other companies like Variable Tech and promised fixed returns from crypto mining that never actually generated such profits. As of 2025, efforts are to recover the assets as compensate the victims. And it's a long battle, guys. Now, what is the lesson for business? GAIN Bitcoin teaches few crucial points. One, don't let the fear of missing you out drive your investment decisions. Many got into the business. Everyone is making crypto money. Why should I be left out? If you as a business have surplus cash, stick to known investment avenues or at least thorough research the new ones. The second is that if an investment scheme is not transparent, like proprietary trading strategy, secret mining operations, then don't get involved. Not regulated investments, you are basically gambling, and honestly, the example says it's not a good gamble. Crypto in particular is unregulated in terms of investment schemes. There is no Indian regulator overseeing the crypto investment plans which scammers are exploiting. Until regulation catches up, any crypto fixed return scheme is certainly a scam. The third important thing is that the legal resources in such massive scam is slow and not guarantee a full return. Thousands of GAIN Bitcoin victims are still waiting for their refunds. Business who invested had to write off those losses. It's far better to avoid stepping into the trap than to rely upon the courts later. As an entrepreneur, you might be approached by someone saying, put your working capital in a crypto fund, it will double, you can buy a new office. When you hear something like that, recall the GAIN Bitcoin example and politely decline. In the last segment, we'll be talking about how to spot these scams and escape yourself and your business from these. In these practical tips, the first and the most important is that before investing in any fund scheme, check if it is registered with SEBI or RBI. SEBI maintains a list of authorized collective investment schemes and also has an investor alert portal where it red flags the illegal entities. A quick search can save you a lot. If the entity is not registered but taking your money from multiple investor, it's a big red flag, guys. The second has to be consult a professional. Run an opportunity by a retainer, CA or any advisor. An independent perspective can actually help you identify the red flag which you could miss. If he says that the return is very unlikely, very unrealistic, it could be a red flag. A quick consultation even can save a lot in a long run. The third, which I also spoke about in GAIN Bitcoin example, is avoid herd mentality. Just because your fellow business owner is doing or a friend is enthusiastic about it doesn't make it legit. Scammers work on community and professional networks to spread. We have other CEOs investing in it. We have a WhatsApp group. Remember, a chain of trust can be easily manufactured in a country like India. Only trust the facts and not just the testimonials, guys. The fourth is the due diligence on the founders. In scams like these, often the promoters have a shady past. A simple Google search on the founder's name might just reveal the past or the SEBI orders. For example, Sahara Subrata Roy had been under SEBI scrutiny for much long before the high-profile arrest. PSEL's Nirmal Bhangu had run a prior scheme. Amit Bharadwaj had a very unrealistic marketing scheme going around it if one looked closely. The fifth one is trust your instinct and math. If it looks too good to be true, it is. Period. Apply the basic math, guys. How could someone consistently pay such high returns? Usually only a fraud or a pyramid scheme can until it collapses. Don't let greed overpower your judgment. And the last important tip is just exiting from it. If you're already in one and you have sensor trouble, delay payout, shifting the goalpost, or you read in news about investigation, plan a safe exit. Redeem whatever you can, stop putting in more, and encourage peers to be cautious about it. Yes, you might worry about losing a face or having been involved, but it's better than losing all your money, guys, or even worse, getting implicated if you have referred others. You won't be fired to exit. In fact, in a Ponzi scheme, those who exit early are the only one who get something back. Now, to summarize everything we have spoken about, Ponzi and pyramid schemes have evolved from chit fund, MLM product to crypto mining, but their core playbook remains the same. They exploit timelines, mix of greed and trust. As an entrepreneur, your focus should be on sustainable growth of your business. Quick fixes or magic investment offered on the side are distractions that can derail everything that you have built, guys. Stay informed, keep an eye on SEBI press release and major financial news. They often warn about the current scams. Ultimately, the best defense is a healthy dose of skepticism and adherence to the principle: no free lunches. If someone claims to have found one, better to skip the meal than to be poisoned. I hope you find this video little knowledgeable. Share it with someone who might need it, and do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in my next video.